Good morning to everyone. So we are now going to have the first session of this FDP on SWOT analysis by Dr. Mridula Mishra. Dr. Mridula Mishra is a professor, head Mittal School of Business, Lovely Professional University, Fagwara, Punjab. And prior to that, she had worked as an associate professor in Department of Psychology at St. Xavier College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Mapusa, Goa. Before that, she worked as a lecturer and controller of examiner at Bihar Yoga Bharati, Munger. She has more than 25 years of experience in academics, research, and hospitals. After completing her doctorate in psychology from Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, she specialized in SIS projective test from SIS Center, Alaska, USA. She is a first scholar who did PhD on SIS. She also gained yoga subject knowledge and yogic experience from Bihar Yoga Bharati, Munger, when she was teaching there. She teaches human resource management, journal management, organizational behavior, clinical psychology, and yoga psychology courses and conduct workshops and FDP on her expertise area, especially in psychometric testing. She had presented papers in national and international conferences and has published approximately 70 research papers in Scopus and other reputed journals and more than 10 book chapters. Her research focus is in the area of HR analytics, leadership, creativity and innovation, compensation, performance management, employee engagement, clinical psychology, and yoga psychology. She worked as a consultant and therapist in many mental hospitals in Varanasi and Goa. She received SIS Best Research Award and Best Paper Award from SIS Center, Alaska, USA. So I hope that you all will get so much knowledge and your takeaway will be very high from this session. Over to Mridula Mishra, ma'am.
Thank you so much for and big thanks for the introduction as well. You have put a lot of responsibility on my shoulders. Let me see that how far I am able to, the proof and proof you the correct and the rest other participants also. Because as a resource person, it is the very good opportunities for all of us. Because the session or the participants which I can see here, they are from the various groups. So it is good learning for me, and less, less thing I'm sure that I'm going to teach you, because the few concepts which can be taught to in one of the session, and that can be considered as the good learning of learning outcomes. Why I said that it is more challenging for me, because when the all participants are from various discipline, it is the challenge for the resource person for taking their queries and for giving them the the correct kind of because they are the foundation is the completely like the slate. So whatever things is said to me here, any of you, if you have any difficulty or any concept which is not clear, I believe that you may ask me immediately, and you can stop me immediately. So it will be nice kind of introductions as well. It is very effective or very responsible kind of things, because we are talking about the personal effectiveness, and then we are trying to improve the personal effectiveness. So that personal effectiveness, if it goes in this session only, I'll be happy and I will understand that really the personal effectiveness is taking place and coming as the outcome before the starting the concepts and the things which I'm going to share with you today. Am I right? Because the personal effectiveness is going to be built from this foundation only, from this interaction only, and then improvement journey can be seen in the 5 days FDP. So I hope that it makes sense.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So before I share the screen, I just wanted to tell you that what actually I'm going to do in this today's session. Basically, the topic which was given, which I have chosen, or Shalini ma'am has given her expectation. She has accepted also that this topic can be the good topic. where we are going to discuss about that how the SWOT analysis can be done. And the most of us are having difficulty to understand that what is our strength, including me too. The a lot of things Shalini ma'am which she said, and then people who have gave me the red mind paper and the various area where I'm working, the may not be the good kind of things for the all those who have read those papers. So the purpose is saying all this, until unless it is not said and it is not given in the very interactive way or very effective way, that may not be applicable to the all participants. Those who are from the management background, I am sure that they may know that the whenever we decide and we say and we define that the manager, only two key things we say to the manager, that the manager should be effective and it should be efficient. And that is the basic difference in the core competencies of the manager, those who are working in the organization. The so the continuously the effectiveness and the efficiency we'll talk a while when we are discussing about the SWOT analysis. So let me give 2 minutes so to share the screen so the you can also see that what content we are going to discuss today in this session. Before that, if any of you are having any queries or any questions related to that, you may ask. Because the things which I am going to share with you, it may not be the new for all of us. Those who are from the management background, those who are from psychology background and the social psychology background, I am sure that they may be familiar with all the concepts which I am going to discuss here in this session. It will be nice if we have more interaction rather than, because when I am sharing my screen, I may not be able to the question on the chat box or the things which you may be writing on the chat box. So humble request, you can stop me in the any moment and then we'll have the more discussion on it. So the as already I said to you that the what are the things which we are going to discuss today in this session, where we'll talk about the SWOT analysis, that how the SWOT analysis need to be, and the big challenge which all of us are facing, that identifying our strength. The number of time when I take this session for the our placement student, they have the things which they said that the it is my weakness. So the but my belief says that the moment you know that this is your weakness, that is going to be converted in your strength. So exactly what is our weakness that hardly we know? Am I right? The moment I know that this is my weakness, that is going to be strength, mine strength. So to understand and to identifying mine strength and the weaknesses is the one attributes of the strength. It makes sense? Because the moment we know that this is my weakness, we'll focus on it and we'll try to convert that weaknesses to resolve that weaknesses. And when we are focusing more effort for resolving and making changes in that our weaknesses, it is going to be our strength. This topic says about the on improving personal effectiveness at workplace. So one by one we'll talk about that what personal effectiveness and what is the personal effectiveness and how those areas can be identified in the form of the strength SWOT, which is the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. And especially when we are talking about the personal growth, because the personal effectiveness is somewhere is related to our personal growth, and more focus should be on our personal growth. So the when we focus more about our personal growth, definitely there are a number of other factors which impact or which has the influence on our personal growth. So the quickly we'll see that what personal growth we say. Whenever we talk about the personal growth, it is the utilization of skills, talent, and energy to reach a goal. Because I'm sure that all of you have experienced that every day we prepare the very nice kind of chart and plan for that. I'm going to do this and that in this year or in this today or maybe in the coming month. But what happened is at the end, we have the talent, we have the skills, but because of the only the energy to reach or to achieve the goal, somewhere our prepared plan is not executed in the same way as we have thought of or as we have planned. I'm sure those who are from the organizational behavior background and the management background, they may have read and taught to their student the X and Y theory of the organizational behavior. Where the X theory talks of that the people don't like to work, so they dislike the work, and Y theory talks of that people like the work. All of us are mostly fall in the X category. Am I right? Including myself. I also fall in the X category. The X category says that if we can get everything easily, we may not work for. So the X theory says always that the employee or the human being dislike the work. Dislike the work, that does not mean that they are saying they don't do the work, but they dislike the work, that means they do the work at the last moment, or the assignment which is given to them, or the work which is given to them, they always do it at the last moment. So the you can recognize and you can identify that whether you fall in X category or Y category. And then after this session, we'll share the one Google sheet with all of you, because I have the session on the last where the post SWOT analysis is also need to be seen and need to be discussed. So in this regard, the content which I am delivering here, that will be, or the whole 4 days at least after this session, I'll keep continuing and asking you and sharing you for identifying your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, which you need to write on the shared Google sheet. So till here it is clear? No? As I was talking about X and Y theory, where the most of us dislike the work. If you remember and if you identify, if you see the whenever we have the lecture or we have the any other plan, at the last moment, only we'll keep changing in it, and we do a lot of the new things. We are adding new things, and we are the something we have written, that delete and that add new things. The kind of things we continue, we do that. There are two thought process behind it. It could be that we are trying to make our work is a more effective. So that's why the content, if I talk about the taking the lecture, or if I talk about the preparing the plan, so the more effective way we want to make that things, and that's why we keep changing in it. And the that change takes place till the last day, until unless we are not going to finalize, and the people have asked that now you freeze that. All this we do because of these two reasons. The one reason can be that, as I spoke about the X and Y theory, where we fall either in X theory or in the Y theory, or we want to, as a manager, we want to make that work more effective. And then if it is prepared more effective way, I'll be with this thought that we will be able to make it more efficient as well. The example can be taken in that relation, that the more the milk we churn, the more butter we get. I'm sure those who are getting and then doing this in their kitchen, they may understand that the more milk need to be churned, the more butter will get. So the same way, the area which you have chosen and the things which you want to do, the more you churn that, the more you do work on it, you get the more the benefits with that, and the more butter in it. The now, first thing which I just wanted to say here about the utilization of the skills, talent, and energy. Before that utilization of the skills and our talent, it is a big challenge for all of us to identify our talent. That am I good in what? Am I good in that? Today in the session only I'll discuss about with you the Zuhari window as well. That how these four windows works with our personality. So the identifying our strength, identifying our weaknesses, identifying the opportunity and seeing the opportunity, identifying the threat, that is the big challenge for us. The moment we are able to do all these SWOT, then definitely our decision or our work in this area is going to be get the maximum benefit. As I gave you the example that the more butter we may get. So that is the biggest challenge for identifying our strength. the strength or the weaknesses which we believe that it is our strength and weaknesses, it may not be for the other person. It may not be identified or observed by the other person, because in every individual works with their assumptions, and that assumptions is going to be play a very important role in our analysis of the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat. So the now, as I already explained that how the personal effectiveness we can talk about. Similarly, for improving those personal effectiveness, because I said that the identifying the our strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat, or identifying our skills, identifying our talent, that is the biggest challenge for all of us. When we are able to identify that, then the more challenge comes to make is more effective or improve in those areas which is required, and maybe we are weak in it, because the I'm sure those the some of the management faculty may have taught that the HRP process, where we said that the right person for the right job. So the kind of job, for performing the kind of job, the kind of attitude or the kind of attributes is required, whether we have that attributes or not. That is the main other challenge in it, because in personality, the Alport says that the every individual is the combination of more than 1,000 attributes. So all the attributes which we identify in our personality, they are only the exposure or those kind of traits which we get that exposure, that is going to be the work for and helps us for the showing and for assessing our personality. And that's the reason that we always say to the people that you should live with the good people, you should stay in the good colony, you should the make a friend who to whom you believe is the good. Only we say because of that, that the active the good traits need to be active in our personality, because we have the concept of the Alport is the who said that there are two kind of traits, is the some of the traits are alive on our surface, and some of the traits are on some of the traits are on our core area, or the cardinal traits. So they have given the various kind of traits and identified that what traits works in what situation and condition. That is the one full-fledged and complete area of the personality, where we can identify our surface trait or the cardinal traits or the core traits of. But when I was talking about the right person for the right job, that is the challenge for all of us. When we, as a manager, we are allocating the task or the work to the our employee, because employee may be good in some area, and the kind of task is given to him and her that requires some other kind of the attributes or other kind of competencies or the traits. So the that can be one kind of a strength, and that's why if you see the nowadays the companies are giving the under the performance employee performance methods, where the lot of the various methods we use for assessing the employees performance. The good companies are asking their employee that they supposed to set the parameters for evaluation, that on what parameter those employee need to be evaluated. That is this practice is one as the one of the good HR practice. The people are the multinational good companies are doing that. Only then the people, the employee who have identified as a person, if I have identified that I am good in what, I will believe and I'll perform and I'll take those kind of responsibility where I can justify the work. So that is the another one area where the we need to, when we want to improve that our personal attributes for making the that work more effective, that need to be paid attention to it. And that's why we have said here the ability to achieve the goals, communicate clearly, and manage priorities and develop self-confidence. all this is associated. There are a number of attributes in it, but these some important attributes I have taken here for making it more effective when we are doing the analysis, SWOT analysis for identifying our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Because if we go with the last term, which is the self-confidence, all this self-confidence is the foundation of the rest other attributes. Most of the some of the our students used to say that, ma'am, I have the communication problem and I am not good in communication. But in that their discussion, we believe and we found that they are not that bad in their communication. They are bad in their subject knowledge. So they are not strong with the subject knowledge. And if you have the, you are not having the good subject knowledge, what you are going to speak, what you are going to discuss. So that's why the communication or the rest other attributes which they said that they are not good, rather than that, I believe that they are more poor in their subject knowledge. So that need to be strengthened in this way. And in this way, the number of the students, those who are not performing well and not able to crack the placement, we used to identify those strengths of the student and we give the inputs related to that. The just can you some of you can say that I'm clearly audible, or I lost the connection with you with the online classes and with the online session. This thank you so much. This will always be a challenge because we don't know what time we have got the disconnected, and then I'm continuously I'm speaking, but the from other side the people are not you able to listen. So thank you once again. Thank you so much. The So this was the related to these two slides basically talks about that how the personal attributes need to be identified and how it could be improved. Some of the core attributes which I have mentioned here that I have taken. Let's see the what that SWOT analysis. Before presenting these slides, number of time I spoke about the under the SWOT analysis. These where this S stand for strength, W stand for weaknesses, O stand for opportunity, and T stand for the threat. So in this SWOT analysis, those who may not be the management background and the organizational behavior background, maybe it is the new term for them. The same stream, it is very simple terms, and any of us can make out that what the SWOT means. So as already I said that the identifying the strength and weaknesses, opportunities and threat is very difficult for all of us, and especially this S and W, which is this the strength and weaknesses is our internal attributes, and the opportunity and threat is known to be external attributes. So identifying the external attributes seems to be more easy rather than the identifying the internal attributes. Although when we are saying the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat, the impression goes that understanding about ourselves is easy. Am I right? Where at the when O and T is the external, so the which will be the more easy for us? Knowing about ourselves or knowing about the other? Can I get some answer? Which you believe it's the more challenge for us? Knowing about ourselves or knowing about the other?
Can I try, ma'am?
Knowing
Yes,
about
sure.
ourselves, ma'am.
Ma'am, I think
Knowing
it is
about
knowing about others that is more challenging because about ourselves, I think we know quite a lot when we do our SWOT analysis. If we do it consciously and mindfully, we would definitely get the cells filled up. But for others, there are those blind spots where people may not reveal the reality, and sometimes that becomes difficult.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Dr. Meghna, for sharing this. Some of the article and some of the research publications says that knowing about others is more challenging and difficult, as the Meghna ma'am also said. But some of the research papers says that knowing about yourself is the more difficult than the knowing about the others. because you have the option when you are saying something about the other people, knowing telling about the other people. But if you do something or if you your behavior or any of your thought process, any of your the emotions, if it is your own, then that the people will not like. They said no, purposely you have done that. Whatever you say that no, it was not the intentional, it was unintentionally, but people may not accept that. Am I right? Because and believe me, the Freud concept talks about the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious part of the mind. Most of our unsatisfied desire we keep on our unconscious part of the mind, and it is the in the concept of the mind, that is the unconscious part of the mind is the bigger part of the, in comparison to the conscious and subconscious. You may have read one part of the ice is above the water, that is we call conscious part of the mind. So you believe, you can see that only the 1% or 10% of the our mind we use for for assessing all this, for doing all this. Even when I'm discussing with you, talking to you, I'm using only our 10% part of the mind. And when you are listening and trying to understand that what I'm saying, you are also using only 10% of the part of the mind. And the layer which touch to the water level, that is our subconscious part of the mind. And the 90% of the below the water, that is our unconscious part of the mind. This is the very basic concept of the Freud, which was given in relation to the psychoanalytical theory. And if you start observing, because I'm saying that you need to observe your strength, and that sheet which I'm talking, which I'll share with you, you need to write your strengths and weaknesses. So when you start observing yourself, you will see that most of the things in a day, which actually you want to do, you are not doing that. All of us, it's the not only the specifically for 1 and 2%. It is the common, the things which we want to do, we are not doing. We are not doing that. For example, suppose all of us the teacher, although we don't think in this way, but someday if you don't want to take the class, can you do that? No. Or some student to whom you may not like, and some student to whom you like, you want to give the more help to those that student. Here we are not, I'm not talking about the biasness and all this, that whether I can do or not. Definitely that if every teacher is having their liking and disliking for the student, whether we accept and we don't accept. In the various concepts of the organizational behavior, we have already studied all this. Because it's not that the biasness and liking, disliking is related to the biasness or error which we have in our perception. It is the things means when you are every day you are discussing and discussing and communicating to that particular student and particular person, you definitely the chances will be high to know about that student and for that person more in comparison to the other person with whom you are interacting less. So nothing is wrong in it. And although we in the organizational behavior concept, we teach that it is the error and the biasness, but that error and biasness, if it is justified, that should not be counted as the biasness, which is the biggest challenge which we have in our employee assessment. Those who are doing the performance management for their people or for their faculty member, they may have experienced this challenge, that the assessment which they have done for the employee, that is not the biasness, but the other employee whose assessment is not good, they may say that you are the biased and you are favoring to that student, you are favoring to that employee, you are favoring to that person. And that's why the analytics is the need of the hour nowadays, especially in the HR, where every behavior and attitude, earlier in psychology and in organizational behavior, we used to say that our attitude cannot be quantified. Our behavior cannot be quantified. When I said quantified, that means it cannot be measured in the form of the numbers, that the 80%, 60, his and her behavior, 80% behavior is good and 20% behavior is not good. It was not in the possible for us to do that. But in present situation, when the AI is introduced in it, artificial intelligence, it is, you will be surprised to know that the industry are using this artificial intelligence for understanding the strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and the threat for their particular employee. And on the basis of that only, they are going to predict that the employee is going to have the long association with the organization or not. So their retention strategy is going to be based on that only. And one example I can give you, the some of the multinational companies, what actually they do for identifying that where your attitude is the towards the organization is good or not. They have there are a number of softwares also who can do that for you. So they have identified certain at the words, and they had made the the list of those words. For example, confusion, conflict, or I'm not happy, angry, anxiety. These are the terms which in general we use and we say when we are sending the mail to our to a higher authority or to the our co-workers or to anyone. We say that today you did that, I was not happy, and it was not the way you're supposed to do. So they, what actually those software is doing that in under the artificial intelligence, they have flagged those words which they believe it is the negative word. So that means the even the emails and the communication, because we have the every organization is having their internal communication, the chat box and chat board where we send the messages, and it is more easy. See here also the we are easily connected with all of you in the through the WhatsApp. We may not be able to see the mail, but definitely the whatever things is written in the WhatsApp, immediately we see that. So the words which we use for communicating, those words are going to flag by the software. And at the end, if it is found that in a month, 100 times when I have sent the 200 mails or 50 mails, out of that 50 mails, if the 49 times I have used those negative words, so the whatever things I said that I'm very good in my attitude, that is not going to be accepted by any of us. The way the quantified number they show. So we need to be very conscious about when we are sending messages to the person saying verbally or non-verbally or the through the mail to the person. We're supposed to be conscious for, otherwise we may not be realize that how many times I have used that I am confused. The one research article I was reading where they have said that the in the 10 times communication with one of the his research scholar, 20 times that research scholar has used the word confused, and because of that only the professor said that you cannot do the PhD because you are the confused, you are always confused only. So should I focus on your PhD work or should I focus to resolving your confusion? So the it may be true that the student was confused, or it may be that the some of the words which frequently we use without realizing that what that word is going to be, the consequences of those words. We'll discuss about the one other word which is very common in young generation nowadays when we say that I am depressed. And I'm sure that the every mother and the you may have heard about your child also, when you see some say something and for ask them to read something, and no ma'am, today I am not in a mood and I'm depressed. So the depression word is not that they, when they are using, the child is using, he is going to say that he is having some clinical attributes in it, but the term which they are continuously using for depression, and I'm in conflict and I have the difference of opinion with that person, that is very consciously that need to be used, because the child is going to. So as I was discussing about the SWOT analysis and the rest other things which I just now I said, for explaining you that how the a word which we are using intentionally, we are not using for showing that our attitude is not good and that, but how the coming time is going to, the take those things in it. And in that sense, maybe that could be counted our weakness, which we may not be which maybe we have not realized in it. Moving to the next, that let's see that what are the other things which we supposed to discuss in this. Basically in the strength, weaknesses and opportunity threat, we said that identify core competencies is our strength. So that if we are able to identify our core competency, that I am excellent in this area, I am best in this area, that is going to be identify our strength. Similarly, if we are for identifying our weaknesses, we said that it it is more those kind of things which we believe that I am not able to do that and I am not able to complete those things, that could be considered as one of the weaknesses. And it seems to be that identifying our weaknesses is more easy, but believe me, the identifying strength is the more easy than the knowing about the knowing and identifying our weaknesses. Because I'm sure that whatever the ugly woman I am, but I will never say that I am ugly woman. Whatever the duffer, the duffer student or duffer faculty I am, but I will never accept that the people that I am a duffer and I am not intelligent person, I am not smart, I am not beautiful. You're getting my point, no? So the all these are the which seems to be the negative. I gave you the very the very common kind of example, but in the same way, if in the depth, if you go and see, identifying our and accepting our weaknesses is more difficult. The accepting our weaknesses, it's not that we are purposely I'm not accepting that weakness, that I'm not good in it or I'm that kind of person. That means conscious is not recognizing that, because as already I said that only 10% of the conscious part works. Rest other the 90% is the below the water, which we are not using that. So the identifying is the weakness is more challenging than the identifying the strength. Then explore the opportunities in the as already said that it is the external and the Meghna ma'am, although Meghna ma'am has said that the identifying the our external attributes is more easy, but really it is not. The most of the research findings says that the identifying our own attributes and weaknesses are more challenging than the identifying and the observing and knowing about the external factors. It may vary in the certain situation and it may vary in the task, the work. Maybe when we are talking about the attributes, it could be the internal attributes, identifying the internal attributes is the more challenging. The external attributes is the more easy, or vice versa in this situation. So that depends on the situation and the what kind of task we are going to identify in terms of the our strength, weakness, and opportunities. So this in this relation, because as already I said that I'll share the sheet and you need to write your strength, weaknesses, and the area improving your personal growth and the opportunities and threats in those areas. So in this relation, basically I'm going to discuss about the transactional analysis, which is based on the psychoanalytical theory. See that any personal growth or any attributes or anything which we are going to the improve without the psychometric or without the psychoanalytical theory, we can't work. So let's understand the what the under the this analysis which I have chosen for identifying the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat is going to be used as a one tool. There are number of tools, as already Shalini ma'am has also mentioned this in the psychometric testing. There are number of tools which measures our various attributes of the personality, but the all the tools is somewhere is the foundation for all these tools is the psychoanalytical theory, which I spoke about the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious part of the mind. So the transactional analysis is also one of the concept based on one of the psychoanalytical theory. So the 4-5 methods in under the the transactional analysis, which they have said, and we'll discuss about all these methods, that what these methods talk, and then how these methods are going to assess our strengths, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities. So the first method which talks about the analysis of self-awareness, and then the analysis of ego state, analysis of transactions, analysis of script analysis, game analysis, and analysis of positions. We are talking here about the life position. That also I'll explain that how the life position can be. And then strokes. So let's see that all these, what this terminology is and how all this seems to be new for us. But all these techniques we are using, even when I'm talking to you, when you are listening to me, we are using some of the techniques in it. But only we need to bring our awareness that what techniques we are using here. Is this some of you are not able to see the screen?
Ma'am, we can see the screen.
Okay, thank you so much. So the first, where we are talking about the analysis of the self-awareness. For the, I'm so sorry, Meghna ma'am, but let's have a discussion on it, and then we'll see that really it is the more difficult for identifying and knowing about ourselves and the knowing about the other, because the Zohari window talks about it. Zohari window talks about the 4 windows. You can see here we have the 4 windows. One window is the open, blind, hidden, and unknown. So what the one open window says? Open window says that known to other and also known to us, known to yourself and known to other. That means the open windows, you know me that I am the professor and this and that in this university. I know you that I have met you in the one of the the conference or one of the workshop and one of the FDP. So this is the known area for both of us, and it is open.
Ma'am, can I say something here?
Yeah, sure, Meghna ma'am.
So, ma'am, I also think, Mridula ma'am, when we're talking about the open area, we are also talking about certain characteristics that we show at workplace, that
Yes.
both our employers, our colleagues know about us, and we also know. For
Yes,
example,
that is,
a simple thing like punctuality. कोई
yes.
board meeting ho and it's been told
Right.
report at 10, you will know that Meghna will report at 10. And if she's a
Definitely,
boss, then everyone will be scared. Madam is never late. She's always there on
Yes,
time. So I think that is an example of open awareness.
very nice, ma'am. This is the actually the open area I'm talking of. That the open area that the other people also knowing, and I also know that what kind of person I am. And the, as very nicely Meghna ma'am said, that the other people, if I am the boss and if I am punctual and I reach on time for the meeting, so I'm sure that all those employees who are reporting to me, they may not have the guts to, or the the attitude to come late for the meeting. So this is the open area for both of them. Means the employee also knows that what kind of boss I am, and the boss also knows that what kind of employees they are. Whereas the other area, which is the hidden. In hidden area, what we are saying, that the known to self but unknown to others. That means I know that, let me frankly say to you, all of us are having the jealousy as well. All of us are the cheater as well. None of us can say that till the time I have not done, I have not tell a lie and I was not some person. It seems to be that the not good things, but it is the fact, and we need to accept that. Because the, if you see in the present situation, we are saying the competition, without the competition, I will not be able to grow. I will not be able to move. I will not be able to, to reach on the goal, what goal I have set for myself. You are getting my point, no? But that area is the hidden. But that does not mean that I'll everywhere, when someone asks me introduce yourself, I'll say that I'm the most jealous person in the world, and I'm the, as the very nicely the Shalini ma'am said, that I have won this award, that award also. But the either I will also not like that Shalini ma'am should say, or the Shalini ma'am will also not say that that the Mridula ma'am is the jealous person also, and the this and that. Means all those attributes which is not giving us the positive response or the positive kind of things, that is hidden. In each of us are hiding those things, and that's why the unconscious part of the mind is the bigger, and those things we keep in our unconscious part of the mind. Freud also says that the concept of the normality is like a bubble of the water. So the each of us can assure only that I'll be normal for that much second only, when the as the bubble comes on the water and it goes, because all this, the negative attributes is also lies on our personality. Only this is having the control over it, and conscious is not allowing those those attributes to come out. And that's why those areas, Johari says that it is the hidden area, and it should not be actually. Even if we are, we should not say that I'm the cheater and I'm the, as already I said that I will not accept that I'm the ugly woman. I will not accept that I'm the duffer professor. I should not. So that area which is not to be said, each of us are having that in the hidden kind of thing. Whereas in the blind area, unknown to self but known to others. I'm sure that sometime you may have experienced that earlier you have not thought that you are the so good in it. But when situation demands and situation came, you did that. So that is the blind area where the other people know that you are that good person, but you may not have realized that you are the good person. Or for the bad also. So for the positive and negative, both the attributes. So that is blind area where I am not aware that I am that kind of person. I'm sure that you may also have got this sometime where the people have said that you are the very biased person. You are the very, your behavior is not at all is good. We may have heard from the other people. So if we are not aware about it, that area is the blind area. Whereas the unknown area, I also don't know that this kind of person I am, and the other person also is not knowing that this kind of person you are. So that is the completely unknown area. So analysis of self-awareness, we should be very clear about our open area, blind area, hidden area, and unknown area. As the very nicely Meghna ma'am has given the example that what the open area means, and the rest other I gave you the example for the blind area, unknown and hidden area. So when we are identifying doing this SWOT analysis, so the strength need to be identified through the open area, through the blind area, through the hidden area, through the unknown area as well. And when the Zohari says that there is the one window which is unknown, from there how I am going to identify the strength. But in that unknown area also, maybe some of the strength and some of the good attributes may be there. Moving to the next factor, which talks about the next techniques, which talks about the in this transactional analysis only, the ego state. When we communicate to each other, when we talk to each other, either we are talking in the parent ego state, or we talk about the adult ego state, or we talk about the child ego state. With the name, it seems to be that the parent ego means the more kind of communication should be with the moral values and with the teaching something, telling something that you should do that, you should not do that, those kind of communication. Whereas in the adult ego, where you need to take the the equal kind of the respect to the all other people who are working with you. The child ego state, it seems to be that the where the more irrational or more kind of illogical things can be. So this three state is not at all is related with the chronological age, with our age. In this age also, whenever we are communicating with someone, sometimes we talk like a child, sometimes we talk like an adult, and sometimes we talk like a parent. Let's see, there are the some life position which we have given in the transactional analysis. Let's see that what life position is the best for us, and what life position we need to use more whenever we are discussing and communicating, and then making the interpersonal relation with other people. So as three egos, we said that what is three ego, which I have explained you. Now the attributes which falls in these egos. So in the parent ego, especially the judgmental, rule maker, or the moral things, as already I said that, and the overproductive, and the more the kind of things where we believe that the things should be very organized way, very the specific way. The things, if it is not goes in that way, the our parent ego plays a role there, while saying that the this is not going to be work. this is not the we have planned, and you have not done this work in the way it should be, you have not done this, you did this mistake and that mistake, all those kind of things. That's why we said it's a more judgmental and rule maker. Judgmental and rule maker, it seems to be the the contradictory attributes, but actually when it comes in the interpersonal relation and in the work situation, it is not actually. Whereas in the adult ego state, we are saying the more it is directing, more reality based, the more it is fact seeking, more it is the problem solving, and the problem solving is the more logical kind of thing, and that's why we say that realistic. So most of us are the play a role as we should be playing a role, especially with the as the adult. But that does not mean that some in this age also we are not in the child ego state. We play the child ego state also. For example, the anxiety, depression, the fear, joy. As already I given you the example for the the jealousy, given the example for the depression. All this is the attributes of the child ego state. Restlessness, irrational, the and the kind of things which is not a very the very useful for the present situation, but those attributes and those ego state also is the part of our personality. Moving to the analysis of the transactions, what actually the analysis of the transactions talks about, they talk about the basic unit of the social interaction and communication exchange between two persons, where the verbal or non-verbal stimulus from one person is being responded and the other person is the transactions. So the things which you have communicated, and that's if this analysis and this this process is not very strong in our the more will have the misunderstanding between the person. So the you can start observing yourself. If you have a misunderstanding with some person, and if you are not having the good relationship with some person, and you know that the person is very good, and that person also knows that you are also very good, but still both of us are not liking to each other. It happens. I'm sure that you may also get the example of it. There in and around you, you may have the some person. That is only because of the analysis of the transactions is not right. There is the miscommunication or misunderstanding between these two people, and that's why this problem occurs, and then that kind of things. So when you are identifying your weaknesses, we must focus on that this area, that whether this analysis, transactions analysis is the correct, or you may focus to that person with whom you are not having the good interpersonal relation, and that what mistake and where things went wrong. And if you focus that at that area, you may get the some of your weaknesses, or you may get the some of the weaknesses for the other person also. But since here we are not talking about the identifying the weaknesses of the other person, we need to identify our weaknesses in that relation. And then we have the script analysis. That is also one method of the one techniques under the transactional analysis, which helps us the making the good interpersonal relationship and identifying the maintaining the good interpersonal relationship, or helps us to improving the improving the relationship with the other people in the very effective manner. So what we are saying in the script writing, all the text of play, motion, picture, or the TV or the radio programs, all this comes under the script analysis. The example which I have given you for the artificial intelligence, that the software, the industry are using these softwares for quantifying for quantifying the attributes of their employee, and on the basis of that they decide that whether the employee is going to retain with them or not. The sir has given the example of the Google and the some of the good multinational companies, that how they have focused and they are able to retain their employee because they were using those kind of softwares. And whenever they identified that there is some, see that the thought and emotion is not and behavior is not in a one day it is going to be changed. if we are not liking in the organization where we are working, in the from the from the some days it starts, and then one day you decide that I should leave this organization because I'm not enjoying the work. So those area is going to be identified through the help of the artificial intelligence. The multinational and the big and the good companies are tapping those area and able to retain their employees. Because see, each of us and every of each of us are for the work only, the either I'm working in this organization and I'll work in some other organization, but the kind of culture which I need and which makes me happy, if those kind of culture is not provided, not given, definitely any of us will not like to work in that organization. So those areas need to be identified on the basis of the script analysis, which is the one method of the transaction analysis. Next, we have the analysis of life position. As I was talking about the three stages: the ego state, at parent state, and the adult ego state. So the parent ego state, the adult ego state, and the child ego state. If we focus on those states when we are communicating, these are some of the things which need to be taken care, and which will help us for identifying the our strength weaknesses. So this we call the analysis of the life positions. In the analysis of the life position, the four options which we have written here: I am okay, you are okay, which is the win-win situation. Whenever we have the conflict and we have the unliking kind of things, we start with that. You have not done that. You have not done that. You made this mistake. You did this mistake. So that means all this blame is from one side only, and I'm telling that person again and again that you are not good in and you are not this and that. So that situation will not be the I am okay, you are okay. So the life position where we say that I am okay and you are okay, and most of our communication should be in the this way only, that I am okay and you are also okay. Then second, we are saying I am okay, you are not okay, which actually we do. मैंने सारा काम कर दिया सर, आपकी वजह से लेट हो गया. We don't realize that the way we are communicating it should not be actually. So that life position talks about I am okay, you are not okay. The third position talks about I am not okay, you are okay. That situation also come when we say that ठीक है सारी मेरी ही गलती है. Yes, I am the bad person. You are good. Let it be. Let's resolve the things is here only. And you assume and you believe that you are the good. So that is also the one communication method or the life position which we use. Only we need to see that is this area is my strength area or is this area is my weakness. So you will be able to identify some of the attributes from those areas. Next, we are saying I am not okay, you are okay. And the last we are saying that I am not okay, you are not okay. Since both are the not good. So the purpose of the explaining you this life position here, when we are communicating, when we are talking with other people, we need to identify that whether what was the requirement. The requirement was talking here as the adult ego state, or as the child ego state, or as the parent ego state. And the kind of ego state is required to communicate. The same kind of ego state, if I am and I am talking with that, the same ego state, then definitely will have the good interpersonal relationship with those people. And with whom I am not having the good interpersonal relationship, or I am not having the good, relationship with, then we must see and observe the communication pattern, that what way we are communicating. Are we communicating with them that I am okay and you are okay? And the moment you have identified that we are not talking with them in this way, I am sure you will be able to identify your weaknesses or the threat area. Threat area usually in the behavior which is going to make you, give you the unsuccess kind of things to your personality or in your work culture. because there are number of person, some of the bosses to whom any of us are not liking, or maybe the working that with that boss, no one wants to work with that boss. You say no, that no, he and she is not good. I don't know the how he will react. I don't know how she will react. So those kind of the person is not good for everyone. But it's not that they purposely they want to do that. They may not have realized, and they may not. They may maybe they are using some of the techniques which is not good for any of them. So the definitely we'll be able to identify our strength if we are focusing about I am okay and you are okay, and this is the best life position where the people say that it should be the both side, that I am also good, you are also good. So the in the conflict resolution techniques we have the one technique which you may be aware about, which we say that the win-win situation. Because in conflict we have the approach conflict, we have the avoidance conflict, and we have approach avoidance conflict. There are the we should not be thinking in this way that the we will not have the the avoidance conflict or approach conflict. We have the conflict where the both of us are benefited. There also we may have the conflict. Take the example of the the topper of the class. So the person who holds the first position and the person who holds the second position, both of them will have the positive that eustress as well as the approach conflict, because they are working they have the competition. The person who is holding the second position want to be get the first position, and the person who is on the first position, he and she wants to hold that position. So that's why we said that they have the eustress where the positive stress is. And that's why already we said that in the present situation, the more conflicting, the more competition is the we are having in the more conflicting situation where the more competitive kind of spirit is required for. And the if the so although in the one sense it could be the negative attributes, but if it is the need of our and then it is required, not in the the in every situation, but in the some situation or in certain situation, those kind of things need to be paid attention, and then we will need to decide that whether we want to go with it or we don't want to go with it, because it is not the kind of forceful things, no. It could be the other it could be the other way also. So how many of you believe that you always talk about the I am okay and you are okay? No? We said that most of the time we should talk about I am okay and you are okay. And
excuse me, ma'am, I am audible?
Yes.
Ma'am, this is Dr. Atul Gupta from SKIT College, Jaipur. Thank you for giving the opportunity to sharing my view on I am okay and you are okay. And I think जब तक कि मैं सोचता हूँ मेरे बारे में, तो इट इज ए पॉजिटिविटी जो हम जीवन को हम अपनी लाइफ को किस नजरिए से देखते हैं, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। और अगर अपन इस पर फोकस करते हैं आई एम ओके यू आर ओके, तो एक लाइफ जो है वो एक पॉजिटिविटी की तरफ आगे बढ़ेगी। ये मेरा मानना है ना, इसलिए मैं ज्यादातर इस पे फोकस करता हूँ आई एम ओके एंड यू आर ओके।
And I believe sir, the Atul sir, and I'm sure कि आपने जरूर देखा होगा कि ऐसे लोगों को ना कभी मतलब बुरे लोग नहीं मिलते। मैंने तो अपनी लाइफ में बहुत देखा है कि
बुरे लोग मिलते हैं लेकिन वो हमें बुरे नहीं लगते। बुरे तो हर जगह हैं, अपन ये नहीं कह सकते कि वो बुरे हैं और या वो बुरे नहीं हैं। ये
सर
तो
मुझे जहाँ तक लगता है कि वो चाहे जितने भी बुरे हों वो आपके साथ आकर भी अच्छे ही हो जाते हैं। इसलिए हमने शुरू में ही ये कहा कि हम कोशिश करते थे कि वी शुड बी living with the good people, and we prefer to to live in the good society with the good people. अक्सर करके पेरेंट्स कहते हैं ना, तुम्हारा फ्रेंड अच्छा नहीं है, तुम्हें अच्छे बच्चों के साथ रहना चाहिए, अच्छे पेरेंट्स के अच्छे जो क्लास में सबसे अच्छा बच्चा है पढ़ने में उसके साथ रहना चाहिए। So it's true and it's good, Atul sir, that as you said that I prefer that and my life philosophy is that I am okay and you are okay in the both way. Anyone else? Or we have not paid attention that what communication method we use, whether we use for the I am okay, you are okay or not, or I am okay, you are not okay, because these are the, you know, the awareness is required here when we are talking of, and especially when we are talking, we may not pay attention that this life position of the various ego state, where we are going to talk about the you know, the parent ego state and the child ego state and the adult ego state. कभी कहाँ ध्यान देते हैं कि हम किस ईगो स्टेट में, मैं आपसे बात कर रही हूँ कहाँ, वेयर आई एम थिंकिंग अबाउट दैट व्हाट ईगो स्टेट आई एम टॉकिंग टू, and what ego state you are thinking or you are talking to me, we don't pay attention in it, no? And that's why the it is little difficult for us to, you know, the identifying the our strength and the knowing about ourselves, the in comparison to the knowing about the other people.
मैम मैं बोल सकती हूँ क्या?
Yes, definitely ma'am.
मैं डॉक्टर कोयली हूँ, चेटीनाड एकेडमी ऑफ रिसर्च एंड एजुकेशन चेन्नई से। मुझे लगता है कि आई एम ओके यू आर ओके यही सबसे अच्छा फिलोसफी है कि मैं भी काम करूँ आप भी काम करो भाई। मेरा काम तो है नहीं कि मैं दूसरों का नेगेटिव थिंग्स निकालूं, सो इसके लिए कोई और है, सो वो मेरा काम नहीं है। मैं काम में आती हूँ, मैं खुद भी काम कर सकूं और मेरे कोलिग्स भी काम कर सके ठीक ठाक, वही ध्यान में होना चाहिए, ताकि ग्रोथ हो तो पूरा इंस्टीट्यूशन का एक ही साथ होगा ना, हम अकेले तो बढ़ नहीं सकते। मेरा कोलिग भी ठीक ठाक काम करेगा, उसको भी अपलिफ्ट होना है तो मुझे भी अपलिफ्ट होना है ना, तो आई थिंक द फर्स्ट फिलोसफी इज द बेस्ट, वी शुड कीप
Definitely. Nation is also moving in the same direction where we say that सबका साथ सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास सबका प्रयास.
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
That will
बिल्कुल।
be competition should be, but it should be positive contribution in the positive sense. And competition and even the contribution should be in the positive direction only. And so if we are able to identify this and then think in this way that the everyone should be okay and I am also should be okay, because see the mind behavior is lying on the other person's behavior, that we don't give the credit to the other. हम कभी ये नहीं कहते कि मेरा अच्छा behavior आपकी वजह से है, but if you really, if we see the mind good behavior is because see you are talking to me nicely, so I'll also talk to you nicely. If you are not, you will not talk to me nicely, the person will also not be talked to nicely, no? अगर कोई ये कहता ही रहे कि आपको
Dr. Anvarasi has told that we should speak in English. Just I want to repeat again that, madam, I am believing in that philosophy of I am okay, you are okay, because we one person cannot develop the institute. It is a total contribution of everyone. So we should have the first attitude only that let me work, and my colleagues should also be allowed to work. So it will be an overall development of this institutions. I think I'm clear, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. And then for identifying that negative, ma'am, we need to observe that whether somewhere the mind interaction is about it that I am not okay and you are also not okay. Because the
yes, that should also happen, ma'am. That should also happen. If suppose yes, I have done a mistake, you need a great courage to admit that. You know that.
Yes.
We should have more guts to admit. Yes, I have done a mistake. I will not do it again. We don't do that. We try to cover up, ma'am. Everyone's attitude is to cover that. But if you can admit, yes, this is my mistake, and this thing you have also done wrong, let us do it together. Let us complete this together, and that is a very good attitude.
Taking the accountability for the things which is not given the positive, the outcome, that is the one unique quality of the leader. And then every leader should have that the quality for taking the accountability. To say that if something went wrong, it is because of me only. And believe me, whenever we say as the leader, the whole your team will behind you only, and they are ready to work for you. So very nicely the things you have shared, ma'am. Thank you so much that you have presented your views also. Let me finish with these two more techniques, and then we'll have the open discussion or the open question if any of you are having that. So the one, as I was talking about the stroking or the strokes, what they talk about they said that it is an important aspects of the transaction analysis. Why the stroke refers to the giving some kind of recognition to the others, as I said, for the accountability. when the things is not went well, or the we should take the accountability that because of me only it may be not went well. And I'm sure that all of us, we presently we use and we give the recognition to the other people. We recognize the contribution of the other people, as the current example and the recent example of the ma'am, when ma'am said that let my colleague also work with me, let my staff also work with me, because if they are not working, the alone it will not be possible for me to work in it. No, so the actually the real example of the giving the recognition, which just now the ma'am have given this recognition to the whole the team with whom she is working. Hmm? The so the giving the recognition to the other people, it makes them happy. So that is we call the stroke in the this life position and the transaction analysis. So those stroke will always be used in our communication and in our behavior. It should be reflect in our behavior. The last we said that the game analytics, the game analysis, this is very common in the in terms of the psychological areas where we talk about the mental processes, because our every behavior is the outcome of the cognition, affection, and the cognition. So the mental processes says that any of our behavior first on cognitive aspect it is analyzed, and then we feel that, and then we react, and that's why we may have the example of the certain person who is overreactive, things without thinking, without analyzing things, immediately they react. No, it is not, you have done the mistake. So those kind of things need to be a little bit, we supposed to be conscious about it. And then this kind of thing should not be where we immediately say that no, it is not going to be accepted. So in the game analysis, the more focus is given on the psychological aspects, as I said, for the mental processes, because any of our behavior is not going to be touched without the cognitive aspect, without the cognitive aspects, and the affective aspect. In affective aspect, things which we are saying, until unless you have not felt that, you may not be able to say the way it should be, and it will not reach to the other people also. So the that affection part is always be included in it. So the game analysis talks about all this, that the cognitive, affective, and cognitive part of the the behavior and interpersonal relationship give the more strength into those areas. So with this, all these techniques which I just wanted to discuss with you under the transactional analysis, with the help of these techniques, we will be able to identify our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in the area. And then in the last session, which I have on the 5th, I guess, that day we'll do the analysis, that how and what way we have identified all this. Yes, the session is open for the discussion or your views, or any question and queries. Am I right, Shalini ma'am? We have 10 minutes now.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. We have 10 minutes. So
Yes.
participants,
So
you can ask the questions.
Can we
and
see on the chat box? Maybe we have some questions on the chat box.
Yes, ma'am. You can see chat box also. I think one question is there.
Yeah, please read the.
I think the problem will arise when I am okay and I want to believe you are okay, but you keep making things not okay for me. I close my eyes and say it's okay. Is that the best solution?
Actually, it's not the best solution, because I am so sorry to say that, because we have the mental mechanisms. As I gave you the example for that, Freud believes that the person is normal for the few seconds only, because we are not knowing that what is going to be happen in the next second. So there are a number of major and minor mental mechanisms which we use. I'm sure that you may have heard about the projection, introjection, rationalization, and the those we call in psychology, we call it the mental mechanisms. So for some time it could be, but if you are living with that person, and if you every day if you are working with that person, that then I'll say that it will not be the giving the will not give you the right kind of outcome in it. So better way that we need to talk about it, that see, these are the your attitude, behavior, or your thought, or whatever things is it, it's I have not liked, and you also need to tell me that what are the things which making you uncomfortable, and whatever the things are said by the other person, that we need to accept that, and in this way only we'll be able to resolve the issues. That's why we said that I am okay and you are also okay, because the things, the question which I'm not sure that the ma'am and sir have asked, each of us are facing those kind of situation also, where the other person is the the only sitting here for creating a problem only. So those people need to be uh, do the counseling, or maybe need to be spoken in a very open manner, because that is also one area that why and how, why those people they do that. We have the different personality cluster. That is the another area. We have the cluster personality cluster A, B, C, D, four cluster personality we talk. As I said that each of us are having the jealous feeling as well, but that feeling and that attribute should not be the active, should not be the prominent. And when those attributes is going to be prominent, we create a problem for the other people. I hope I have answered the question.
Yes, ma'am. We have a couple of more questions. How to use game analysis for professional effectiveness? Question by Dr. Shilpi Rishi Srivastav.
Thank you so much, Shilpi ma'am, for asking this question. The game analysis, already I said no, that the process of the mental processes we use in the game analysis, where our more focus is about the psychological attributes, or the process of the cognitive, cognitive, and the affective. Maybe some of you may not realize that until and unless things which I have not felt, I may not be able to, behave in the right manner. We believe that in the cognitive aspects, the emotion and feeling comes. In the cognitive aspect, the rationality, logic, thought, all this comes, and in cognitive, the pure behavior is comes. So we must appreciate, and we must realize that the things which is said and the things which is asked, I need to you feel that also. Then only I'll be able to the act in that relation, because the stimulus, which is the very important, which impacts our behavior, which influence our behavior, is playing a major role in it. So in the game analysis, we'll always be paying more attention in the cognitive, in the mental processes, as well as the role of the stimulus, because we say something, whatever the good person we have, I'm sure that most of you are familiar with the some of the RS scripture, where we say that the Lord Ram, or the some other person, they have never spoken the untruth in their life. Raja Harishchandra, as we said, and the Lord Ram, never they were the angry. But if you read this scripture, you may find that there is some places where they were also, shown their anger, for the Lord Krishna also, when he has used the Sudarshan for killing that person. No, I hope that some of you are familiar with all these stories. I hope I have answered the questions.
Ma'am, one question more. Wouldn't be right to know what others think about you? By Mr.
It's good that you should be aware about it. But see, if you start paying their things is more prominently, you may lose your own identity. You may lose your own nature. So that's why we say no. You should do your work and be honest for your work. Forget about that what people are saying.
Okay, ma'am, next question is, nowadays I am okay, but you are not okay. This type of culture is increased in educational institute. Teachers think we are okay, principal is not okay. Principal think I'm okay, but staff is not okay. Then how to balance work life in this situation?
It's true. That's I see Very nice question asked by the sir. Can I know the name of the
Mr. Ravindra Jadhav.
Okay, Ravindra sir, the very nice question you have asked. See,
Thank you, ma'am.
we should be in this, involved in all those kind of things, because the mind, the thought and mind is the like a tree. The more in the psychology we say that the thought is like a tree. When I say that thought is like the tree, that means in one branch, the other branch is going to be grow. So from one thought, the other thought is going to be, to generate. So if we believe that the situation is like that, which is cannot be tolerated now, and that's why the people used to move from one organization to another organization. This is the reason for the leaving the organization and then going to the other organization, because when those situation is more strong, then definitely will not have the right kind of culture to work there, and somewhere we believe that we are suffocated in it. But everywhere it is happening in the, as you said, sir, for in the most of the education sector, that is the little difference of opinion I will have, because all the organization may not be the same. The percentage can be in the one place the 60% bad thing and the 40% good thing, or vice versa. But still there are good people in our country, good people, good institute in our country. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Mridula, ma'am. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. I think we are done with the questions. So now I request Kapil sir. Kapil sir, are you there? Kapil sir?
Yes, ma'am, I'm there. Dr.
Okay.
Shalini.
Yes, Kapil sir. Now please give your feedback and summarize the session.
Yeah, definitely, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, good morning, one and all. So it's a very first day and a first session of this 5 days FDP on improving personal effectiveness at workplace, conducted by Sikkim University. I'm very thankful to the resource person of the day, Dr. Mridula Mishra, for such a wonderful session. So, ma'am has explained very well regarding the SWOT analysis, that is the strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So, we know that one can use SWOT analysis to make the most of what we have got to our organization's best advantage. And we can reduce the chances of failure by understanding what we are lacking and eliminating hazards that would otherwise catch some unawareness. So in this session, ma'am has clearly presented regarding the various strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that someone can face in the organization. SWOT analysis helps utilization of skills, talent, and energy to reach a goal. Ma'am has clearly enhanced with the ability to achieve goals, communicate clearly, manage properties, and develop self-confidence. Ma'am has also presented the various transactional analysis that can be self-awareness, that can be game analysis, that can be script analysis. Also, the speaker has presented the various the states of the parent age, adult age, child age, analysis of life positions, and many more things. So I hope that all of us will concentrate on these factors and just improve our ability to serve in a particular organization. Thank you so much, Mridula ma'am, and thank you so much, Dr. Shalini, for such opportunity and for just listening these things and just to summarize all the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kapil sir. Thank you so much. And participants, you all are requested to please fill the attendance come feedback form. It is mandatory for getting the certificate. So link has been shared on your WhatsApp group as well as on Zoom chat box. So please everyone fill that form, and we'll be meeting next session at 12 p.m. And thank you, Mridula ma'am, and thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful session. And I hope that participants have got a lot of clear understandings about the SWOT analysis, transaction analysis, and its application in their real life scenario. So we will be meeting you, ma'am, in the last day of the FDP also. So, ma'am, please.
If I get a chance, I would like to attend some of the sessions.
Ma'am, please.
Keep us they updated with that what other things is happening in this session, because that will help me for preparing and interpreting your strengths and weaknesses. That's
Yes,
my interest to attend some of the session. But I'm very happy with the kind of interaction we had, the kind of audience I got today. Thank you so
Okay,
much,
thank
Shalini ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much,
Thank
Kapil
you.
sir. Thank you the all participants and all those people who have asked the question. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Have a
thank you,
nice
ma'am.
day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you. So participants, you can leave the meeting and you can join the next session with the very same link. Okay, this link will be same for next 5 days. Okay, we'll be meeting at 12. for the
Shalini ma'am,
next
with your
session.
permission, should I leave the meeting
Yes,
now?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, please,
Thank you
please.
so
Thank
much,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So participants, please fill the attendance come feedback form. We'll meet at 12 p.m. Okay. Thank you, everyone.